All right, good morning, folks. I'm going to do some Saturday painting here for about an hour or so. And I'll see if we can finish up what we started here. And, okay. Let's adjust this. And we should be good to go. So let's see what we got left to do on this horse archer, this Hungarian horse archer. We finished up doing the cloth there. We need to do the horse trappings. And I think, based on the other colors on here, we're gonna use Iraqi sand. So let's go find us some Iraqi sand. Here we go. And this black that's here, I've had this thing on for about a week, and I think it's still alive. So it might be cheap craft paint, but it's still hanging in there. Okay. This one should be fine. Mix some black in here. This is the third light horse for this army. When we're done with this guy, we need to paint another guy just like him. Of course, the colors won't be the same, and he'll be on a horse in a different position. And we're going to remember what we did last time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and paint the reins now. In the same color, base color, because we're going to come in and we're going to highlight it differently. And we're going to go ahead and get that over with. Got to make this a tiny little bit different. We want it to stand out from the color of the horse. Now we can go back to this and add in more of this. Then after this, all we got left to do then, gonna be some shoes for this dude. Horse hooves. Good morning, John Peter. Hey, it's even still morning for you. Barely. I got here as quick as I could. I had to get up in the morning and get some coffee going. And good evening, Studio WGS. Reporting to you live. My routine in the mornings is get some coffee going and then do my turns. And what I mean my turns is I'm playing Field of Glory 2 with a person probably for, I don't know if I've been playing for about a year, but I've been playing for a while with this one person. And I just joined my first tournament. So got games going on at the time, but it's something to do. It's not DBA, but it's something to do. DBA is quirky in its own way, but I think it's better. I know that when I first started playing DBA, that DBA Online was available. I didn't know any better. I just figured it was the same version and everything. And I was having a hell of a time trying to learn the rules. Between 2.2 and the DBA Online, it was just like, oh, this is a different version. Well, no wonder. And yeah, that was really frustrating. I played that for a little bit too, but wish there was still a modern version of that. But playing face-to-face games is hard when you can kind of play games at your own pace and you send a turn in, another turn comes back to you. It works a lot better for those type of games because a lot of the face-to-face games on the computer end up being connectivity issues. So I know one game in particular. Two people that I know in real life and I tried to play a game that came out that was a computer version of an actual board game. It's a game called Lock and Load Tactical. I think it's a beautiful looking game. It's a counter game on computer. It's a beautiful looking game, very squad leader like. Except I actually think it's actually better than squad leader. But anyhow, we still can't get the multiplayer to work. It'll show something moving on somebody else's screen and not on your own. So I've just given up on it. I'll wait maybe a year to try it again. I don't have time for, for failed things. So yeah, you end up spending like, okay, you have like a couple hours to play. And then an hour and a half is you trying to connect and not connect and wait and getting frustrated. And it's like, I could have just been painting. So that's unfortunate, but that is a good game, but the multiplayer just isn't there yet. I don't know why it's so difficult, but maybe they'll never fix it. I don't know. No, we've given up trying to play it. Doing this puts you in a good mood, but trying to connect to a game, wasting 2 hours and not getting anything done, is not the right, does not put you in the right frame of mind. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we got that done now. Let's put some shoes. Oh, this is the same color we've been using for the stirrups. All right, let's go ahead and do that then. I can always get the shoes in underneath that. 20-something friends DBA. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I still have trouble teaching people. It's a great game, but it's just not, it's hard to wrap your head around it, and the rules are not laid out how you would like them to be. But it is a great game. So I just don't see playing anything else unless it's better. And for all its faults, well, I haven't tried Impetus. Basic Impetus, I should say. I don't want to play the big scale one. I'm not paying a ton of figures for one army. I'll paint a ton of figures, but over a ton of different armies. I do have the basic Impetus rules that I bought and printed them out, and they're beautiful. I've heard some bad things about it, but that doesn't really matter. I heard some bad things about DBA 3.0, and I said, screw it, we're going to give it 100 games, and we like it. So, other people's opinion is just that. It's other people's opinion. I'm pretty sure that whatever our group would like, we'd all agree upon. We all would like it the same way. So, at least when it comes to these ancient battle type games. So, that's one of the best things you can do to learn the game is teach other people. Even if you end up teaching them wrong, getting a couple things wrong, because it still forces you to have to go and find the rules. And that's really the exercise that you need to do. Find, you have a question and you have to solve it on your own because there's no one there. You're on the spot. So let's get these guys some shoes. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Coffee, it's what makes it all happen. So we should have another battle video being filmed on Monday. If everything goes according to plan. So, kind of the common theme here. We film on Mondays. So, unless we have too many people that show up, and I don't think that's happened in a little while. So, I wish we filmed on another day of the week, but Monday it is. It starts my day off starts my week off as a sleeping deficit. I'm up way too late past my bedtime, which is about 10 normally. So you guarantee that I'm up till like 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday. By the time I get home and shower and so forth, sleep night on Mondays at best. And that's without the video being edited for multiple reasons. Main reason so it doesn't take a whole week to get the video out to you guys. So how is lockdown? We have trouble here in Malaysia getting people together to play. I start doing my video in a few hours. Lockdown. Well, if you want to meet, you can meet. We've got one of our players that he's older. I don't think I wouldn't call him old, but he's retired. He's retired from the military, which means that's younger than most people get to be retired. He's in his early 60s, and he refuses to come out of his house. So he's like, well, I won't be able to meet with you guys until there's a vaccine developed. And I'm like, I didn't do any gaming for the first, when it started hitting here for about the first 4 weeks, main out of respect for my wife, who was pretty much trying to avoid everyone until she saw how this was kind of playing out. And then since then, I'm like, it's not that big a deal. In my job, I don't really have to. It hasn't really changed anything. I don't interact with that many. It hasn't really affected anything. I forget it's even going on until I leave work and have to go to the grocery store and have to wear this, that, or the other. But it hasn't really affected me that much. I've gotten a lot more painting done. But I think of all the people that would normally join us, only one doesn't come and join us. So really hasn't affected it at all. Now, conventions, yeah, we haven't had one this year, and we probably, I don't know when we'll have another one. I've brought it up before. I don't think we're going to have another convention for, you know, I mean, we're scheduled. Be surprised if we don't go to another convention for a long time, and I mean even more than a year. Not because of, not necessarily because of us, but just the situation. Is the way the conventions work here is they've got to have a certain amount of people show up to cover their costs, and if there's a certain amount of people don't show up, then they lose money, and it's a non-for-profit, so it's not like they can just make it up on something else. So at least our local conventions in Orlando, local, it's still an hour and a half away, but they've got a certain amount of people that have to show up and attend in order for them to be profitable and not go bankrupt. Normal isn't going to do it. So I don't know when we're going to have another convention, but that's not stopping us. I don't care if we don't have another convention. We're still going to do our videos like we always have. We're still having a good time. I'm still going to do painting videos. Well, I'll do this until it stops being fun. So I could stop at any time, but so far it's been fun. And at least in the painting videos, I mentioned that kind of keep myself on track and keep from being distracted by looking at something on the internet or so forth. So, but face-to-face conventions, those people that are only playing at conventions or something, they're screwed because I don't think you're going to be waiting a long time to play a game. I see no in sight. I see no end in sight. So, but it doesn't really affect me that much because short of going on conventions, so. But it depends on the people. I mean, if you're scared to come out, I mean, you're not gonna see those people. Um, but that's their problem. They're only keeping themselves in. So, um, okay, so we're gonna do the horsehair on this guy. I didn't think Malaysia would have been that bad out there with lockdowns and stuff, but who knows? I don't even watch the news here, so why would I watch the news over there? Yeah, we're isolated. This country doesn't give a crap about what happens in other places. Seems like it's common to every country, but you know, most people don't know where Malaysia is. And I thought it was just an American thing. Nah, there's People are ignorant of geography everywhere around the world and their own history too. It's not an American thing. There's stupid people around the world. Okay. I probably should not continue doing this. I need to do the socks first because what happens is, and I mentioned this earlier, that now Studio WGS, do you paint or you just contract the things out for your painter and then you do the display video? Um, WGS. I bet that's Wolf Gaming Store, isn't it? Let's try and put two and two together. Um, I think that's what it is. Okay, socks. Where did we leave on socks? This guy has all four socks. This one has none. So let's split the difference with this guy and give him two yes and two not. So you paint. Excellent. Painters unite. I would say that for I would say that at least in historical stuff, for each person that plays, no, for each 10 people that play, one paints. It just seems like that. I don't know how science fiction is, but Wolf Game Shop. Okay, perfect. Um, yeah, I put two and two together. I'm sad to say I won't be going to your store anytime soon. it's a, it's a little out of the way. It's a little out of the way. You aren't halfway across the world, but it's close. I think halfway across the world is like Afghanistan for me. But yeah, somebody asked me the other day, am I more of a gamer or am I more of a player? And I think am I more of a gamer or am I more of a painter? And I think I'm more of a painter. It doesn't mean I don't play games. I'm just like saying that I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't paint my own figures. So that's what attracted me to this silly game is bringing my own toys and playing with them. I don't want to play with other people's stuff. I will, but and now that I have stuff painted, I will play with other people's stuff. But initially, uh, now I'm to the point that I'm not even excited about playing with the stuff that I have painted. I just want to paint them. It doesn't mean I won't play with them. It just means that's not the big push. The big incentive for me is not to play with these particular figures. I've looked at these guys for a couple hundred hours by the time I'm done painting them, so I'm kind of tired of these guys. All right, we're going to leave the socks on the back ones alone. That's what I said last time. I screwed up. I was talking up a storm and forgot it. Ended up painting all four of them. Oh well. Best laid plans, right? Oh, I do need to go and do his ears. Somehow I skipped over the horse's ears. Now, what color were we using as a base? This one over here. It's not a problem. Be flexible. Shit's gonna go wrong. Be flexible. Okay, we need to do the muzzle of the horse, and I think what we're gonna do with that is we'll just use the same color. Yeah, we're doing a lot of gaming now. That doesn't really affect us. The only thing the pandemic has really affected us, it seems like the part that is really visible, is if I need to buy like craft paint, if I got to go to a store and buy like craft paint, you know, like the cheap stuff, this stuff isn't being restocked worth a damn. So you'll go into a store and there'll be spaces for thousands of paint. I do want to say thousands because I did a count on my own paint. I don't think I have that many paint bottles, and I have over 200. So, like you go down an aisle and there's thousands of colors of paint, and there might only be 30 there between all the colors, and it's like it's just not being restocked. So, sculpting along with you. Ah, the sculptor. Minis. Mini. Okay, hold on. Mini minutes. Minutes on the sun. Okay. That ought to be what my handle is, as hot as it is here. Minutes on the sun. Except mine's would be hours on the sun. We actually had a cool morning yesterday. It actually was in the. Did it get into the 50s? That didn't last long. April, May, I painted the figures in the RMA videos I posted. Okay. But you're not SL. SL is a painter for you. People, you guys straight. I like those videos. I like those videos and I like the accents. Very calming. I like that. And if you're the one who made the videos, you've slowed down your speaking too fast, and I say one, my brain's going faster than my mouth is. So, yeah, I enjoy watching those videos. I still like, obviously, I need to do an elephant army soon. I like painting elephants. I don't really care for how they play. I don't like units that take more than one pip to move them, but SL paints his own armies. Okay, cool. I didn't realize that you and SL painted. I see. So you've got a painting buddy. You're just the one that puts all the videos out. Excellent. Well, next time SL, nobody would know who you are. Well, that's good. It's good to have painting buddies. I had a I had something that happened in the last Historicon I went to, 2019. Of course, there wasn't one this year, and I got a chance to walk around with a fellow painter, looking at the booths, and that was a lot of fun because usually Mitch isn't worth a damn when it comes to painting things because he doesn't paint. That's a good thing. Um, he admits he's not a good painter, but he has no interest in it. So, and So anything that's painting related or something like that, any products that they have there, he's just kind of looks the other way, and it's like not anything he's interested in. But with another painter, it was kind of cool looking at the different tufts and stuff like that, paint colors, and that was a nice experience being able to hang out with a fellow painter. So that appreciated those kind of things. So 'cause that's kind of convention and trade show as well. But a sculptor, I am not a sculptor. Are you sculpting in 15 mil, or are you sculpted in 28? Or I've done a couple of little additions of green stuff on my figures, but that's about it. Yeah, I like talking to painters too. It's just a trick though, and it's its own specialized type. And if I do, it's only at like my lunchtime because I can't paint. And YouTube, if you check something out, you get sent a bunch of videos that are similar to what you just watched. So I've been, what I used to do before I used to do these videos to kind of keep myself on track unsuccessfully was I'd watch YouTube and have it in the background, kind of up, about where the phone is, but further down. And I would just kind of look at it from time to time. The problem with it is that there's so many things to watch. I'll change the channel and go to something else. So I end up spending, if I'm going to paint for 2 hours, I end up spending an hour and a half figuring out what the next greatest thing is I'm going to watch and getting nothing done. So it was kind of a dead end for me. But there are several people that I follow on YouTube, and a couple of them are music related. Not that I'm musically inclined by any stretch of the imagination, but it reminded me about painters. And the trick is, there's so many people out there that are incredibly gifted when it comes to music and are on YouTube. I mean, just incredible. And those of us that are not musically inclined are like, I don't know how the hell you can do that. And I'm sure it's the same thing. It's a trick. They just know what the trick is. They practice it a lot. And you know and that's what they do. And we're all predisposed to be better at some things than other, as long as we practice at them. You know, like I'll never be a singer. I don't want to practice at it, and I don't enjoy it, and I don't have the skills for it. So, but it's just a trick, whatever it is that we're doing, and you just got to stick with it. Like this, what I'm doing is just totally mindless and easy as shit. Um, but I've been doing it for 35 years, so and I enjoy doing it. It's not like this is torture or anything. So, and I'm fairly decent at it, so that helps. It's hard to practice something when everything you come out, it looks like a melt. But it is a skill set, and people will say, how do you have the patience to paint? Well, how do you have the patience to watch a show for 6 hours? So everybody has patience for certain things. It just depends what you put your patience towards. How can you have the patience to practice the same guitar notes for all day? I mean, yeah, it just depends what you put your mind to. So there's your fun fact philosophy for today. No, but it's amazing. There's some really talented people there on YouTube. And I'm not talking about anything on this channel. I'm talking about some really talented folks. So hopefully they're being successful with YouTube being able to expose them to who they need to be exposed to. So, okay, we got that done. Now we can do Now we can do the horsehair. And let's get Mr. Black back out here. Find us a spot here. And we're not going to mix white in with it. We have the same stupid tone. So let's go ahead and take this color that we have plenty of and put that in here as well. Watch a lot of historical vids and painting videos. There's some great videos out there. Even if they're not 100% accurate, at least it piques your interest and you can like go into something else and research it more. But I like all those stuff. What are those guys that do the battles with the videos, with the maps, the Baz battle guys and the Kings and Generals. Those guys do some good videos. That's way too much editing for me. I can't spend, I'm a painter. I'm not interested in making the videos that much where I want to spend tons of time on them. I'm not listening to myself. I'm adding white when I said I wasn't going to. Down boy. Yeah, so I don't want to spend 5 hours editing a video if I don't have to. So I'm to the point where, our battle videos, I don't want to go through and watch them again, especially since we're making 4.5 hour ones, because that means the it's going to take that much longer to spit the video out. If I spend that kind of time editing the video, that's paint time I'm not painting, and I need to paint so that you guys can see some different armies out here and I can get stuff done. So I've got to have that balance between the two. So yes, I can make the videos better, more professional, but I don't want to spend a lot of time, and I also don't want to do them on my computer. I It takes way too long to do things on the computer. I need to keep the editing on the phone. So, which the phone editor I'm doing, okay, now we'll add a little bit of white. The phone editor that I really hadn't been able to use it to its full potential because my other phone I was doing just didn't have the RAM to keep up with it. But now it does. But um, yeah, I don't want to go back to picking different music for the intro. And I mean, heck, that's fun, but that'll consume a whole freaking day. Just looking for, all right, well, I need to find free Indian music because we had an Indian themed battle. And yeah, that's a whole day that I don't get to paint when I do that. So um, yeah, I don't really have time for that anymore. I don't want to spend time for that. I was painting a 100-year war army. I spent 100 hours. I spent hours and hours watching 100-year war videos. Well, there you go. And there's a lot of 100-year war stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Okay. Um, I'm not sure that I finished the muzzle on this guy. I got sidetracked. No biggie. I'll listen to stuff on Audible as well. Books on tape. So, but lately I've just been using that when I'm in the car, driving to and from work. Okay, this Hungarian horseman's done. Bam, blammo. There he is. He can join the other two guys that are over here. Now they're not sealed, so they will look a lot better when they're sealed. We've got one more horse to do in that same pose. Well, a similar pose. The horse itself is in a different pose because it's a separate figure. These other ones were a one-piece casting. This is a one-piece Essex casting. And for some reason, it's the same horse archer because you can see that he's got the same hood and everything. But this one came with a separate horse. So I've got two guys in this pose, and I've got two other horsemen that are in the same figure pose, but the horse is separate. So I made sure the horses were different. And yeah, it's touch up. Looks like some of the black didn't finish up here well. The nice thing about it is if you miss a spot of black, it's always in it's always in a crease. So it's not going to be somewhere that it's going to be exposed to handling usually. So let's get those things so they don't glare at me when I'm painting other stuff. And then I've got two more horsemen that on different horses, but they're also the same pose, and this is their hussar pose, which is I don't want a whole army of these guys because it's kind of an awkward pose to have multiple people in. So both of these will be on two different stands to mix it up, but that's a totally different figure. He's wearing different stuff. He's got a fur cap and so forth. So that's the 6 light horse for this army. What am I doing? Black. Got it. Yeah, I got to do my 100 Years War of French at some point, but that's going to be a long project. Just not really excited to do an army that I've seen many times. It's a good match because two of the people that I play with have a 100 Years War English army. So, and there's the incentive for that, but that's a big one. And some people would say, I don't want to do it because of the heraldry. And that's the reason to do it, is the heraldry. And the research into the who and who's. Yeah, they have 200 Years War armies because they're not painters. So they buy things at shows when someone's selling them. And if somebody's selling only certain armies, those are the ones that they have an opportunity to buy. So, as opposed to the rest of us that we can paint whatever the hell we damn well please. So, I tend to go to more unusual ones, armies I haven't seen all over the place. So, Army Showcase video is supposed to help new guys have a look at what the armies look like and a little bit of background. Yeah, I think they're great. I think they're great. And they even made my wife buy me one of those little round turntable thingies. Okay. I think we're done with this guy. What color horse we're going to do on this guy? Let's just do a standard brown horse. This one. I spent a lot of time looking at horses early on, and then I just realized you can't just look at pictures and come up with stuff. You just kind of have to just jump in and let it go at it. Flat Earth will make this horse a flat earther. Okay, let's use a brush that is not so, that I do not have such a high opinion of. I try to use brushes like that when I can. I do not have any expensive brushes. Uh-oh. My X-Acto knife is gone. That's because we used it at the, it's over at the table. We were doing pumpkin things last night. That's why I did not paint last night. Let's see if we can, I know I have multiple of them. Let's grab one of them here. Okay. We're going to, yeah, I don't have expensive brushes, which means it doesn't bother me to do what I'm about to do. Okay. So we got our flat earth there. What did we lose? Our paper towels? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, well, before I get started with this guy, I think we're going to stop for the morning because I've got to go wake up someone for swim practice. But we were able to get that one horse done, so that's good. We'll come back hopefully later on today and start working on the fourth light horse. But anyways, thanks for joining me, and happy painting. Bye-bye.